Hello and welcome to my PAX East 2024 vlog from the point of view of a line entertainment enforcer with anxiety. What I'm trying to say is that this vlog is not going to be incredibly action-packed because doing a social is difficult for me, but it's still a lot of fun. And yes, I know PAX East was in March and I'm posting this in May. I've been busy and anxious, but it's here now, so let's go. PAX East is a Thursday to Sunday convention, so I always arrive in Boston on a Wednesday. The succulents were from my hotel right after I checked in, and this is the photo I took inside the convention center when I went to pick up my enforcer badge and t-shirts for the weekend. Then this was around 8 a.m. on Thursday morning because I signed up for morning shift even though I'm not a morning person, but more on that in a second. Here's me realizing this container full of swag for us to hand out is labeled Swagwise Gamgee and making sure to get that in frame. And one of the biggest reasons why I love enforcing at PAX every year is because of the people, so here's me hugging my friend Nix. After this, we entertain the line in the Q Hall, the largest line we entertain, which is the entire reason why I like morning shift. Then this was my squad, plus a few more shortly after that, on our way up to entertain one of the always gigantic Final Fantasy lines. This was the result of the poll I was holding for Best Nostalgic Pet. Pet Rock won, of course, the OG. And since we walked past the AFK room on our way there, we made sure to shut the f*** up while we walked past, as we always do. And accompanying us on our journey to the Final Fantasy line was our fearless leader, also known as our department manager, CJ.
So remember, your goal here is to say that's just a theory about 1,000 times in this line.
After my shift, I stood in the merch line for an hour because it was the only free time I had and I really wanted some 20th anniversary merch. Then I explored the expo hall for a bit. Noise-canceling headphones and earplugs were my best friends when I walked through there. I took a quick peek at Pikachu. Then I, like many others, since he wasn't difficult to spot, saw Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome, and I walked past these giant circle thingies. I don't know what they were, but they looked cool. And for those of you who are afraid of clowns, close your eyes for this next part. Apparently there is now a video game version of the movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So that's a thing. I walked around and looked at all the different games you can play, found the Pokemon Play Lab, and found a booth that wanted me to be quiet. Eventually, I went back to my hotel room and recorded a video of a story from my day. I am an enforcer at PAX East, and boy do I have a story for you. PAX East is a gaming convention that happens in Boston every year, and an enforcer is essentially convention staff. I work in the line entertainment department, which is exactly what it sounds like. We go to the lines where people have been waiting or will be waiting for a very long time, and we keep them entertained while they wait. Today was the first day of PAX East 2024. The first line of the day that we wind up entertaining is what's called Q Room or Q Hall. Basically, it's where everybody lines up before they're allowed to go into the expo hall and enjoy the convention. So for our job as entertainers, one of the things that we do is we play games with the attendees in line. One of my favorite tools to use for this is a whiteboard. Today I happen to be walking around entertaining that line, and on my whiteboard it said, "Impress me in 5 seconds or less and win a prize." Because yes, the line entertainment department also gives out a lot of prizes. So I'm walking around holding the sign and I see a father and daughter. The little girl was probably about 5 years old or so. She was wearing a Kirby dress. It was adorable. And I see her father bend down and talk to her for a second. He reads my sign to her because she's that young. She had the most neutral expression on her face as she walked up to me and showed me her loose front tooth. Except the way that she did that was walk up to me with a completely neutral face, look me straight in the eye, and just goes and wiggles her loose front tooth. I mean, I can't do that, so I was impressed. She got a prize. This was the fit check for Friday. And here we are going out to entertain Friday's Q Hall line. I was very tired, but I tried to make it fun and relatable. People liked it. Then Disney sing-along time while Q Hall line was loading in.
How could I make a man out of you?
It's always a good time. One of the other cool things about being in the line entertainment department is that because we're roaming around the convention, occasionally we're asked to help other departments. And on our way back to Line Entertainment HQ, a few of us were asked to help hand out pins to the attendees of a different Final Fantasy panel. And that's how I wound up in the same room with the producer and 2 of the different directors for Final Fantasy 16. So that was kind of cool. It's also our job from time to time to hype up the people at the Just Dance stage, which is why all of these amazing dancers are wearing PAX party hats. And why you'll find that the aforementioned stage occasionally has a bonus rhythm section. After my shift, I found Waldo, because have you really been to PAX if you haven't spotted Waldo at least once? And then just like a Where's Waldo book, I went to find myself. because I had been informed that I was in a photo that's not only inside the PAX East 20th anniversary photo book, but it was also blown up and on display in the convention center. Yep, that's me. So if you got one of the 20th anniversary photo books, I'm in your book. Then I went back to the expo hall where I saw extremely powerful capybaras, a tunnel made of stuffed animals, and the next generation in the Sushi Go family, which was way too reasonably priced for me to not grab a copy for myself. And speaking of spending money, when I'm at PAX, I always make sure to donate to the Cookie Brigade and grab a few cookies. Saturday morning, aka PAX Day 3, the inflatables were in full swing in the queue line. And of course, I always try to do my part to keep everyone, inflatables included, in line. Since everyone was preoccupied with the inflatables, I figured I'd make a poll to fit the vibe. And I was genuinely surprised when Cow won. Here's CJ posing with Hugh Mann after his crowd surfing adventure. The inflatables adventure, to be clear, not CJ's. And as Saturday's line was being let in, I made a Lion King themed sign to remind everyone to take care of themselves. Simba. I also took photos throughout the day of these signs in front of the bathrooms, letting everyone know they can use the bathroom consistent with their gender. Not only do I love the message, but I love the artwork as well. Whoever drew these is incredibly talented. Once we got back to LEHQ and took a break, because I'm me...
I did a thing. I did a thing.
You know what I need you to do? I need you to fan it out like this. Yeah, like a flat cute. Lovely, I love it.
Oh, it's one of the dumbest things I've ever done, and I love it when I get to say that phrase.
Since I first started creating content a few years ago, I do get recognized a handful of times at PAX East. Usually because I tell people exactly when and where I'm going to be in advance, but I'm still amazed that somebody not only recognized me, but also asked to take a photo with me while I looked like this. Then I put a camera on the floor to record me and my friend/squad lead Donut dancing to everyone in 2012's favorite song, while main theater's line loaded in past us. I had a little more fun with my new hairdo, and I saw a balloon animal dog cosplay that was really cool. Later that night, this was my fit check for a Queer Enforcers meetup, and I did super minimal makeup because my anxiety during PAX had been high, and sitting down to do makeup for a long time was just something I did not have in me. And this was Nyx at the meetup in her amazing Mothman cosplay. And then came Sunday, the final day of PAX East. I adopted a son, his name is Boo, and we made our final trek down to the final queue hall line, where I conducted some very important polls that also amused some very kind vendors who are apparently English teachers as their day jobs. So that was a fun coincidence. Then we did one last parade across the sky bridges, I saw a robot dog, and just like that, PAX East 2024 was over. I may not have documented every fun thing I did or taken a selfie with every friend I hung out with, but the memories I make there every year make it worth it. And I already can't wait to do it all again next year.